Are literally okay. Because idiot.
Oh, okay.
Ugh.
Yo,
Yeah. You're gonna moderate, right?
sure, I'll moderate. What y'all want me to do? Just like stop y'all when you're like someone's talking over, or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do that.
That's what moderation do, bro.
Ugh. Okay, since I
Alright.
blundered,
They
give the
keep wanting
topic, I guess, and
talking
the
sticks,
position.
retard.
Yeah,
Okay.
so look, go
So
ahead, give the
if you can
topic
shut the
and the
fuck up,
position.
since I'm gonna be a farming retard, and I don't want this nigga to speak until I'm done giving my full argument. Okay. So my view that I'm gonna be holding to is that God is gonna be real, but he's not going to exist. And the argument is just premise one: if everything were contingent, absolute nothingness would be possible. Absolute nothingness is not possible, as a necessary entails contradiction. Therefore, not everything is contingent. If not everything is contingent, and absolute necessity must be affirmed. Absolute necessity as an alethic modality presupposes being, as it constitutes an expression of a mode of being. Therefore, being is absolute and necessary must be affirmed. Once affirmed, the absolute and necessary being must be identified as God, for the absolute and necessary being fulfilled without conceptual and/or modal deficiency the set of maximal predicates attributable to the most correct and rigorous philosophical conception of God, my bad. Now, dumb fuck retard, you can go against that.
I'm not gonna lie, like you could type it out. Nobody understands your shitty ass accent. Look, so I have two questions. So look,
What you think
one.
making fun of my accent
Okay,
is
so
gonna
we need
help
to we
you,
need to mute
retard?
the monkey. He can't control himself. He looks like a monkey. He acts like a monkey. Look, so when we talk about God and we
You
talk
got
about
marked,
belief
by
in
the way.
God, so belief, yeah, you lost 5 1. Look, so I mean this nigger muted because he cannot fucking control himself. Look, so when we talk about belief in X, right? Presumably, when you say you believe in X, there's some type of subject added in. Say, I believe he exists. I believe X achieves, X, Y, Z. Those are the type of things that make the statement formative, right? Now, I just want to know, what does it mean to believe in God, but to say he doesn't exist, for example, right? And those type of talks there, like when we even say, right, I believe in God, like it seems pretty presumptuous. But look, so after you answer those two questions, or maybe before, you just need to send the argument in chat. I didn't understand what the fuck you said at all.
Okay, so he's done. This nigga's fucking horrendous. He already blundered. And we're not even 2 minutes in the fucking debate. Anyways, I didn't say I believe that God, or I believe in God, sorry, but God is not going to exist. I said, I think that God is going to be real, but he's not going to be that for which exists. If you're asking me to clarify on what that actually means, on the semantic underpinnings that's going to be encoded within that type of talk there, I can just say to exist, or to be real, actually, is going to be that for which has a role in the causal, structural, or intelligible order of reality. And to exist just means to be present and empirically accessible. Now, I don't hold to the view that God exists. I have no reason to hold to it. I have no dispositions or doxastic implementation such that I would be amenable with that type of view or threshold. All I care about is it being real. You fucking retard, dumb fuck bitch. I didn't say I believe in God, but he's not going to exist. That's a terrible fucking mistrack. Nigga needs to wear his fucking tracking goggles. Retard. Please track the fucking debate. You suck. You're getting killed. Okay? And also,
Bro.
wait, I'm not done. Also, I'm not gonna type the argument in chat. Just to be clear, I can repeat the premises. So you can actually attack them because I know you can't track what I'm saying. And no, it's not gonna be because of the accent. It's because you're a fucking dumb fuck retard that's epistemically malnourished and a dialectical virgin. I mean, I can repeat the premises slow for you so you can actually attack them. I'm not gonna type it in chat so you can plug it into Chat GPT and get a fucking debunk.
Dude, this guy's an absolute fucking burger. I want that to be fully cleared out. Most of that was just fucking rhetoric. He said two things of substance. Was the illustration of the concepts he first deployed, right? Okay, now look, you just say God is real. Okay, that's fine. I mean, dude, look, now the argument that Scott was presented. Look, I'll just quote a few things I heard in the argument. Obviously, you're gonna repeat the argument like a good fucking bitch. Then we're gonna type it out. Then we're gonna get clear on it. But
Oh,
one
now I'm
thing I
not
did
gonna repeat
hear.
the argument.
So look, I'm not gonna lie. Can we mute the nigga, bro? Like you didn't mute him the first time. That's fine. But now we just have to mute the idiot because he can't fucking control himself once again. Now look, I want to be very fucking clear. He looks like a monkey. He is a monkey. Like I said in the first fucking time. Look, so he introduced alethic modality. I would actually question alethic modality and inquire on these type of things and why we take alethic in general in this type of hypothesis, maybe in the robust account. But look, or either account. Look, also on the modality talk there, I don't know why I would even hold to modality in the sense that maybe it's going to have some type of imports, right, to the real. We don't have to talk about to the exist to the real. Why can't we just say these are conceptual tools? Those are the type of hypotheses we can offer up on the table there that seem counterproductive to the type of notation that you're introducing in the debate. Look, but also, like the thing about me tracking again, like this nigga slurs his words and he has a fucking accent. Like, bro, this nigga dead ass sound like a British kill. Obviously, I can track this shit, nigga. You just speak weird. It's nothing about me understanding, right? If you were to pronounce it correctly, nigga, it's just the pronunciation and your accent. But look, now like when you repeat the argument, we're gonna write it down, right? Please don't be scared because you know that you cannot defend the argument that you got from your daddy Kill because you are a shitter, you're a loser, nigga, you're fucking poor and ugly. Look, also like it's presumably you have these well-structured stratifications and the expressions and the theory of propositions that are being deployed. Those need to be motivated, right? You also invoked epistemic norms. I need those to be clarified and even motivated too, right? And no, motivation can be taken neutral. But look, that's all the questions being levied now.
Okay.
You feel me, dude?
Okay. You need to kill yourself. You need to slit your wrists. You're terrible. Nigga, die. Okay. Anyways, you said why should I hold to modality, or why should I hold to the alethic modality, or why should that be something that we take within the construction or the configuration of the dialogue? Actually, dumb fuck retard. I don't give a fuck what you hold to or what you don't hold to. What's the motivation for the type of speech act theory where we're going to be resolving a difference of opinion through convergence or a configuration of convergence towards a standpoint? Dumb fuck retard. What's the motivation for that, retard? So, also you said something about me presupposing epistemic norms. How am I going to be presupposing epistemic norms? Motivate that, dumb fuck retard. You also said, I mean, I already attacked everything you said, I think, with that response, but you said some other shit about me being ugly and poor. I mean, we don't even need to discuss that in the debate, but you got fucking mocked terribly by me, man. Okay, now you're gonna get killed in the fucking debate, like I did to CJ. I beat that nigga in the face to face, and then I killed him in the fucking debate. And no, I'm not gonna type out the argument. I already told you why. I can repeat the premises, and I'm gonna do that right now. So, P1: if everything is contingent, absolute nothingness must be possible. That's the first premise. Okay, don't fuck retard. Make sure your ears are open. P2: absolute nothingness is not possible as it necessarily entails contradiction. Therefore, not everything is contingent. If not everything is contingent, an absolute necessity must be affirmed. Absolute necessity as an alethic modality presupposes being as it constitutes an expression of a mode of being. Therefore, being as absolute and necessary must be affirmed. Once affirmed, the absolute and necessary being must be identified as God, for the absolute and necessary being fulfills without conceptual and or modal deficiency the set of maximal predicates attributable to the correct and most rigorous philosophical conception of God. Now, before you actually go against that, I forgot to mention something that you said at the end of your fucking retarded response. You said, you told me to motivate the stratification or the theory of proposition. I don't know what that means. I don't know what you mean by motivation. You can go ahead and transmit the justification engine that you're going to be incorporating, dumb fuck retard. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, this guy's a fucking ChatGPT demon and a retard. Look, first, dude, we could talk about this. So the symbolic expression, right, and the operant used as in the conditional, we could eliminate those type of talks, introducing the Curry's paradox. One, you need to eliminate those type of hypotheses. Now, look, also, by the way, that's
Motivate.
a blanket state. Yeah, no, mute the nigga, he can't fucking understand. I said, motivation is mutual, right? We could take a shared understanding. We could just, or even adopt your understanding of motivation. That's fine. Look, in the justification, my bad, the epistemological norms you're
But how
introducing,
to hold to
obviously,
motivation?
no, you don't moderation, he can't control himself. Again, his looks oversee his fucking actions. Okay, now look, when we talk about justification norms, and my bad, not justification norms, epistemological norms, the epistemological norms that you introduce, the justification, these type of attitudes, these epistemic warrants, by the way, look, and now it's obvious that, these are presumptuous because it had never been an argument placed and displayed for these type of norms. No, also, the stratification of the propositions, all that means is just to say, well, you could quantify propositions over a set of domains or even globify them, right? And I'm saying the theory of propositions that are being deployed here incorporates and embeds these type of norms, right? And like when you talk about them, they need to be motivated, right? Motivation, again, can be neutral and shared. I don't fucking care for having to justify that type of thing. By the way, the end of that sentence was so fucking ChatGPT. They made your justification norms and the justification engine. You're fucking a retard. Now look, when we talk about, let's say, God, for example, or alethetic modality. The type of thing that's being talked about there is that does modality have these imports, right? Now, when we talk about like maximal, I'm pretty sure maximal absolute predicates, or whatever the fuck you said, like I don't know why those are the type of things that succeed in contrary to countering hypotheses, right? It could just be anyone in the conceptual domain there. Look, also, I don't even think that when you ask, for example, on your end of the dialect or dialogue, right, can you motivate something that is even meaningful? Because it doesn't seem to be the case that I made any proposition that stratifies under your conception or theory of proposition, right? And the type of thing that that clarifies is just to say, well, motivation in your sense, right, of a proposition being made is different from the sense that I'm using it, right? I'm utilizing motivation mutual to you in the propositions you make in the way you mean it. But the propositions I make are in the way I made them that you don't understand. So it seems malformed inherently and intrinsically. So retard. The things that need to be done here, right? Or when justifying the importance of the modality talk there, justifying the base set, my bad, the base foundation of modality, which would be the modal logics, the modal systems that's being used here. Look, and then when we talk about these aletheia, right? Look, alethetic modality assumes the truth theories. Now, why can't we offer counting hypotheses, right? Like alethetic nihilism, for example, or even like maybe some deflationary theories that don't believe, it's meaningful, right? And then you have to explore these hypotheses as well. Look, now when you do this, obviously you're going to need to get the procedural motivation for the stratification of the propositions because that's going to be embedded in the justification and the motivation, right? Or argument. So yeah, look, also I just need to understand why we adopt this language model. Presumably you're going to be using formal dictation. So I just need, reason to why we should adopt that. And by the way, normativity is guiding. Look, truth in your criteria accuracy is also in question. So the procedural commands to say, well, I don't care if we need a motive or if I should motivate this or if you believe it or not. Look, those are the type of things that's guiding and primary. But yeah, look, you can unmute the guy.
Okay, this nigga is horrible. You repeated yourself a lot throughout the whole passage. You said the theory of propositions is going to be the attitude, or the stratification is going to be the attitude or proposition. When the fucking erotatic token that was posed, or the interrogative token that was posed to you, dumb fuck retard, was how am I going to be, why is that the type of thing that I need to motivate, or why is that the type of thing that is going to be presupposed within the configuration of my argumentation engine, you dumb fuck retard? You didn't answer that. You were just repeating yourself like a retard. You also said something about you can posit counter hypotheses to the maximal predicates attributable to the correct and rigorous philosophical conception of God. I don't fucking deny that you can pose counter hypothesis or defeating or these things that are gonna go against or they are not gonna be sympathetic towards my threshold that I'm incorporating, or these things that are not gonna be amenable with what I'm saying. Dumb fuck retard. I don't deny you can posit those type of things, but I would like you to actually justify them. And when you say justification is gonna be mutual, I don't know what that means, retard. And that's also a fucking blunder. Given that I already explained, I don't hold to your type of speech act theory. And you even mentioned it again when you said, why should I adopt the language models? Retard. I literally explained what's gonna be the motivation for the type of speech act theory where we're gonna be resolving a difference of opinion through convergence of a standpoint. You dumb fuck, actually fucking bitch. You're just blundering in the entire debate. You've been fucking blundering and repeating yourself, retard. Also, motivate your argumentation engine. Um, motivate every single thing that you're saying. I'm sorry. Prove you're even real. Dumb fuck, retard. Um, give the motivation for the motivations of the motivations for every single sentence you fucking uttered. Dumb fuck, retard. You also said something about a deflationary theory of truth for which you're gonna be posing to go against my argument, or the encoding of the aletheia of the theorem within my argument. You can also posit that, but you would have to give me some sort of you would have to engineer some sort of ambitious motivators for which are gonna industrialize these configurations or transmissions of doxastic implementations such that I can be amenable towards it or towards your enterprise, stupid fucking bitch. Also, I'm not using ChatGPT. I can literally screenshot and show you that I'm not using ChatGPT. But I know you would say that because I know my rhetoric is fucking amazing and I know you can't actually defeat it. So you're obviously gonna say it's ChatGPT. You're a dumb fuck retard. You still haven't attacked the premises adequately. You've just been putting it into question. and proposing these countering or rivaling models for which you can actually do, but you would have to motivate and demonstrate how they're actually going to defeat the constituents within my argumentative apparatus. Stupid bitch. You should kill yourself. Um, you're ugly as fuck. You need to slit your wrists. You need to shoot your parents. Everything. Dumb fuck retard. And I'm being serious. I'm not joking. You're actually terrible. You're getting destroyed in the fucking debate. Also prove you can put burdens on me. Dumb fuck retard. If that's the type of thing you're invoking. And yeah, I mean, he didn't go against my definition or the semantic underpinnings I attached to my conceptual configuration of God. He didn't go against anything really. I mean, you can respond now and fulfill every single thing.
This guy is a retard. Like, it's almost as if British niggas have things that go inside their brain and then that shit just disappears. Like, where is what I'm telling you going? Like, it's just fucking disappearing like your mother. Nigga, it's disappearing like any adequate thing in your life. And this is why you're doing so horrible in the conversation, is because you have nothing to fucking debate for. Nigga, you're shit. Never debate again. Look, I want to be very fucking clear. No, oh, you need to give a theory for, this dialogue or, the semantic, like the speech act. Like, dude, this guy is a retard. You need motivation theory. Motivation. Okay, look, I don't even like agree. Like that notion of motivation is what's available or even applicable. And the reason there, right, it's because look, when you say motivate the motivation of the motivation, look, if we're mutual, like, by the way, I never said mutual justification. I said mutual or shared understanding, or even your understanding of motivation. Right? I actually asked you, give these motivations for the justification norms and the justification apparatus in which helps you have these constructions, right? Of these conclusive statements about justification, what is justified, what's not justified, et cetera, et cetera. You never did that. But look, when we talk about motivation for motivation of motivation, I don't even think the meta stratification of the language there is needed, right? You could literally just say, you could take these hypotheses, right, in which go to say, well, one motivation is satisfactory, and let's say the inquiry, even if useful, doesn't really prevail against, let's say, the satisfied or a satisfactory motivation one, right? But look, when we talk about my bad. When we talk about these stratifications of the propositions inherently, right, you're embedding them into the talks there, right? And what needs to be done is one, justify how you globalize and stratify the propositions you're using. And all that goes to say is, let's say you make proposition one. Look, I'm asking, why is proposition one in effect to domain two, for example? Why can't it just be in effect to domain one, right? And you have to quantify and globalize the propositional talk, right? You'd have to global, like you probably like a global cognitivist on these type of things, right? Look, and then I want to be clear, like it's just like so fucking obvious. Like when you're trying to refute, right? Let's say you're trying to refute something or you're trying to inquire on something that is presumptuous and mutually exclusive to the language model, right? Because if not, they just wouldn't be symmetric. And presumably you're saying something in which applies to what I'm saying. So you would have to concede there, right? You're a retard though. But look, on the other type of talks there, I didn't say that shit for not dialetheism, deflationary. You mistracked there. And look, he just keeps using these fucking chat GBT sentences, nigga. It's okay, gang. No one cares that you're a 10 2.0. You getting beat on too, nigga. It's fine. Look, so when we talk about these enterprises, for example, or even these systems, the systematic referential constraints, which is the type of things in which, build and ground the model or the system, I'm just asking for the apparatus that constructs those type of norms for the higher order or even object level construction, right? And when you ask to be those further things to be justified or proved. And by the way, look, when you say proved, the deployment there is presumably going to be referring to something that's a need or obligation. That's in question too. The argumentative frames are also within
Bro,
question. So
shut
look,
your
it's
hydraulic
saying,
press
now
chin
let's ban
ass
this
up.
nigga. On God, I'm banning this bitch ass nigga. He said that shit. Take this ban, fuck nigga. Fuck ass bitch. Look, and also, look, the constraints you're using is obviously in the meta language there in question. Proof you can put things into question is just circular. Look, and also, I want to be clear. You said prove you exist, nigga, you're a retard. Look, or prove you're real, my bad. Look, I can just be deflationary on all type of existence or all type of realness and just say those things actually don't qualify in our systematic evaluations of inquiry. But yeah, look, you can go ahead. We can even go to conclusions if you think you won this. It's obvious you didn't, but you're not going to go to conclusions because you're scared. Go ahead.
I mean, if you went to conclusions right now, I would definitely win, given that you didn't actually respond to most of the things I said. All you did right now with your response is invoke a whole lot of fucking concepts that I'm not presupposing, that are not encoded within the configuration of my argument, and that you're just fucking you're putting words in my fucking mouth, my nigga. But anyways, um, you said I didn't give a notion of motivation for which is going to be applicable to the dialect. When you're speaking about it's going to be applicable, I don't know why he's laughing. When you're speaking about it's going to be applicable, it seems that you're going to be presupposing. Actually, first of all, I don't know what that means. Second, it seems that you're going to be presupposing the same type of inferential. No, sorry, not inferential. Um, consensus engine that I'm actually refuting in the fucking debate. You dumb fuck retard. I've repeated this 3 fucking times, my nigga. I'm not gonna repeat it again. If you can't go against it, that's your fucking problem. Clearly, you can't fucking track. He also talked about the meta stratification of motivation. When I talk about motivate the motivations for the motivations, um, why is that gonna be something for which I'm gonna um for which it's gonna succeed or for which it's gonna obtain? Dumb fuck retard. I don't even know what you mean by meta stratification. That seems like a loose term. Give the definitions for that. And yeah, you also said you can be a global cognitivist. You could, or you said, I'm going to globalize the propositional talk and you can be a global cognitivist. This is literally something I addressed in my earlier response that you just fucking ignored. I literally said you can posit these types of fucking views encountering hypotheses or rivaling models for which are gonna go against what I'm saying. Retard. I'm saying why you haven't engineered the ambitious motivators for which are gonna give me these configurations of the class tech implementation such that I can be amenable to what you're saying. Dumb fuck retard. You didn't go again, you didn't respond to that. All you did was just beg the question. I don't deny you can posit these rivaling theories or relevant rivaling models, retard. You're a fucking bitch. Also, um you said my argument is gonna say it's gonna be presumptuous and mutually exclusive, which is gonna apply to what you said it's gonna apply to what you're saying inherently. How? Demonstrate how? Dumb fuck retard. Put in more words in my fucking mouth. Put in more things that I'm not presupposing in my fucking mouth. Dumb fuck retard. Invoking a whole bunch of useless concepts. Um, and also, you did say you're going to be taking a deflationary theory of truth. You did say that. That's not a fucking blunder. We can check that in the rec afterwards. Stupid fucking bitch. You didn't go against my rejection to the speech act theory. Stupid fucking retard bitch. You should kill yourself. You also spoke about how my argument or the constituents of the argumentative apparatus is going to be that for which contains systematic referential constraints. What the fuck does that mean, dumb fuck retard? And why is that going to be something that's actually contained within the argument? I've been asking you this question ever since the fucking debate started, but you haven't answered the fucking question. And the reason you haven't fucking answered the question is because you don't even know what my argument is talking about. And you're just presupposing a whole bunch of things that you're saying are embedded within the argument, which are actually not embedded within the fucking argument. Stupid bitch. So go ahead and do that. Um, you also spoke about a higher order object level. Again, I don't know what the fuck that means and how I'm presupposing that within my argument. You can demonstrate how you're a retard. Um, you didn't motivate your argumentative engine, retard. I mean, if you concluded right there, you would lose horribly. Um, you also said the propositions in my argument are going to presuppose a systematic evaluation of inquiry, which, again, I don't know what that means. I don't know how my argument is going to presuppose that. You haven't demonstrated how. Yeah, I've literally been asking you the same fucking question the entire fucking debate. You're a retard. Like, you're actually a retard. You also didn't motivate the motivations for the motivations on that. You think, if you think you adequately responded to that burden, then you didn't. You also didn't prove you can put these conditions on me for which I need to answer. Dumb fuck retard. Um, and yeah, again, you didn't motivate your argumentative engine. You just spoke for like 7 minutes without actually saying or attacking anything. You're a retard.
Dude, like, I have a genuine question, kid. Like you can answer, you can interrupt, bro. Like, do you have a fucking cognitive faculty? Like, do you have them? Like, are they in your head? Like, no, just genuine question, just a yes or no, bro. Like, if you're not gonna answer, you could just go back on me. I don't really care. Like, do you have these cognitive faculties? Like, when I say something, does it go through your brain? Do you actually process what I said and not what your fucking creepy flow demons fucking
Alright,
said
can
to
we
you,
get rid
nigga?
yo,
Okay,
can we
we
get
got
rid
mute
of
the
the
nigga.
moderation?
No, we
Wait,
could
no,
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 we
get
gotta
rid
mute
of the
this nigga. No,
moderation.
we got no, we
This
gotta
isn't
mute this nigga. Look, no,
productive.
mute him, mute him, mute him, mute him, mute him,
Wait,
mute him,
this
mute him,
isn't
mute him, mute him,
productive.
mute him,
We
mute
can
him, mute him,
conclude
mute
right
him,
now. Wait,
mute
Paula,
him,
don't
mute
mute
him,
me.
mute him, mute
We
him,
can
mute him, mute
conclude
him.
right now, or
Yo,
we
Polar,
can
can
get
you
rid of
like
the.
do your fucking job? Okay, thank you, bro. Look,
Nigga, you asked him a
trying to
question.
Yeah, I asked him a question, but he didn't answer with yes or no. Then he started spewing bullshit. Look, but I want to be very fucking clear, dude. Dude, he went on rhetoric for 4 fucking minutes straight in the full conversation. We can go back and bet on it. The type of rhetoric he used, right, was 4 minutes long. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, but look, yeah, there's just 2 things I have to address here. Then we can go to conclusions, right? Look, like when you have and when you're asking and making these requests, like the things that you're requesting, like proof, for example, or telling me to prove these type of things or motivate them. Look, the apparatus there and the systematic failures are what's being inquired on and what's being attacked, and you're not doing shit about it. Look, and all the modal talk there, I already like explained the modal talk. And by the way, I'm just using it in a default sense, right? Not no modal auxiliaries, right? Auxiliaries, right? When you like make these type of claims, like when you make those type of claims, you're still doing these procedural commands and which are in question. And the deployment of these type of, well, you can just, add this, we're asking for the justification for XYZ. I'm putting words in my mouth. Okay, look, again, we're talking about like a conceptual domain and the type of things that would make your argument non-productive, make your views non-productive, or even make them non-succeed. And I'm asking you, how do you counter these hypotheses? Because that is necessary for your type of, argument to function or even succeed, right? Look, like that's pretty trivial. Like that's really trivial, right? And by the way, I deny the seemings there. I don't know why you kept doing the same where you said, "Oh, it seems indicates you're doing X, Y, Z," right? I deny that you can even have this function that's reflective of the type of, I guess you could say linguistic types or semantic types that's being deployed here. And that just goes to say that the type of things I say is not reflective of the type of things you respond to, retard. That's one trivially demonstrated in the conversation. And then 2, that's so just going to be in question. Like you can do this, right? Which would make it, my bad. Which would have make this, my bad, inquiry that would say, okay, well, is he actually responding to what God Mock is saying and not just playing with his fucking flow consulate demons? And it's obvious. Yeah, we could conclude. That's fine. No, yeah, we could conclude. We could conclude. Like he agrees with conclusions. Here, I even unmuted my damn self. You heard your conclusions? Wait, you agree? You're unmuted, bro. Do you agree to conclusions?
Yeah, we
I
can
don't feel
conclude.
like I don't feel like giving a conclusive statement, but we can end right there.
We can conclude. This nigga's
Yeah,
a
we can
retard.
yeah,
Oh my
we can
god.
end right there. Look,
Yo,
are you
kill
fully ending right and
yourself.
not giving
You
conclusive
need to kill
statements?
yourself. No, we're not
Look,
giving conclusive